All right, get excited. The Stanley Cup Finals are here and the Blackhawks are back, looking for their third cup in 6 seasons, looking to defeat the Lightning in this one. We have our resident NHL expert, Dave Golikoff, here to share his advice on the betting this series. How's it going, Dave?
Hey, life's pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing great, Dave, and I want to start off talking about these two goalies. Now, Ben Bishop is only allowing 2.15 goals per game in the playoffs, and he is now only one of 3 goalies to have multiple Game 7 shutouts in a year. While opposing Corey Crawford has not been as effective, with a goals against average of 2.56, he's obviously done enough to get it done, getting his team to the show. Dave, what are your thoughts on these two goalies, and who gets the edge in your book between the pipes?
Definitely Chicago with Corey Crawford. Crawford did struggle at the beginning of the playoffs, got pulled, but since he's been back in net, he's been very solid. Even against Anaheim, he did allow a couple of games where there was, goals in bunches, but I don't pin so much of that on him. I think they're just, it's more been the defensive effort in terms of that third pairing, or maybe the first couple guys getting worn out, or give some credit to Anaheim. They did score some good quality goals. But Crawford definitely stepped up when the Blackhawks needed him. As for Bishop, he has been good in the Game 7s, but he's been up and down a little bit in the playoffs, and I think that has to be a concern. Just the fact that they've been talking about pulling him a couple times, that has to be a bit of an issue. Gave up 7 goals in Game 6 of the Eastern Conference Final at home. He's been giving up goals in bunches at times. Other times he's been great, but he hasn't been here before. Corey Crawford has, and I think that's a big factor. But overall, I think Corey Crawford's played a little bit better anyways.
Now, moving out of the net, I think the biggest story here is the play of the Lightning's triplet line, Johnson, Kucherov, and Palat, scoring 28 of Tampa's 55 goals this postseason. Johnson first in the playoffs also with goals and points. They really look to be the difference maker in this series. Now, Patrick Kane, who returned in the playoffs for Chicago, leads them with 20 points, with Toews and Keith each totaling 18 for Chicago. 2 very potent offenses, to say the least, Dave. Which trio do you think gets the most done?
Well, I'm going to go with Chicago here again, just because based on experience, really. Maybe this particular postseason, the Lightning have had the better offense, but you can see when the Blackhawks really need it, i.e. Game 7 of the Western Conference Final, Game 6 as well, they stepped up, including Toews, Kane, a couple of the blue liners chipped in as well. This is a team that I just can't see myself betting against. They look like they're on a collision course for a Stanley Cup. They have, again, if you look at the tangible stuff, the measurable stuff, maybe you give the edge to Tampa Bay in some of these categories, but there's just the Blackhawks are on a different level with the intangibles, and that includes the offense. If you start going down pound for pound, yeah, Tampa Bay may have the better unit, but I don't really think that matters in this series.
All right, well, Dave, if the odd makers are on point, then the Stanley Cup is going to the Blackhawks. Now, this sounds like your pick, too. What is your call for this series?
It has to be Chicago. They've been here before. They just look like they're going to do it one way or another this postseason. They've gone through, weaker teams. They've gone through tougher teams. They ran through Nashville, who had a Vezina Trophy candidate in Pekka Rinne, although the Predators probably a bit of a weaker first-round opponent, just given how they finished the year. But they took care of business there, no problem. Minnesota came in, red hot. This was one of the hottest teams down the stretch of the season. Took care of business there rather quickly. And then Anaheim, a team that had, disappointed in playoffs before, but really stepped up this playoffs. They really looked tough, complete. They had depth. They had everything. Anaheim would be favored in this series against Tampa Bay if they had advanced. But Chicago goes on the road in Game 7 and gets the job done. So Chicago has gone through a lot. Not to say that Tampa Bay hasn't, but this is a Blackhawks team that is experienced. They've been here before. They have the savvy. This is not new to them. And I like the fact, as bizarre as it sounds, that they don't have home ice advantage. Tampa Bay is going to start games 1 and 2. We've seen them a couple times nervous on their home ice. The first round, Game 6 against the Rangers, just a couple of examples. This is a team that won so many games in the regular season, won more home games than anybody in the regular season, but has just not been as sharp at home in the playoffs. Chicago is as good at home as they are on the road. They win everywhere. And I think going to Tampa Bay, those first 2 games, they'll get at least a steal of home ice advantage one of those 2 games, and that really could be it. Tampa Bay, not a great road team, even though they've been decent on the road in the playoffs. So I think this sets up really well for Chicago. Tampa Bay, credit to them for being here. I don't think they're going to lay down, but I see Chicago winning this in about 6 games.
All right, you heard it here first, guy. Dave Golikoff taking Chicago to pull out a win in 6 and hoist Lord Stanley's Cup for 2015. Sure as the markings of an epic series, we'll be keeping you updated daily with picks and matchup previews right here at sportsbookreview.com.